All right, I'm Anna Hafen and I'm the helper.
I'm Mayer and I'm the helpy. So Anna, as you know, I'm getting ready to be married in about a month here,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been feeling just really like anxious and nervous. I think the nerves are getting to me. I feel like the closer it gets, um, I hear more about how marriages go wrong, or
Mm,
just how terrible things can be, and so I find myself like almost like picking arguments with my fiance more, or just like being more upset at him at little things that like used to let me go. And I'm not quite sure like what to do, if I'm like overthinking things, or if like
right.
the things that I'm picking on about are serious concerns that I should be bringing up with him.
Right. So you're not necessarily nervous about the actual wedding. You're looking further into the marriage and are we a good match? And is this going to turn out well, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that would be correct.
So, what kinds of have you noticed a theme in the things that you're nitpicking him about?
Yeah, I think one example is his friends will just one of his friend will just make little comments like, "Oh, you would be good if you had dated this person instead." And
Mm,
he would say that right in front of me, and my fiance like just wouldn't say anything about it, even though he knows that it would bother me. And so sometimes I like with things like that, I feel like I make a big deal out of it later, because like I'm upset, like it's hurtful to me, and not having him to support me or like stand up for me is just it's just kind of upsetting, and and I I don't know how to like tell him anymore about like
right,
do something about that.
right. So I hear that you're mad about something his friend had done. Um, but are you also mad at your fiance for how he reacted to that, or are you more mad at the friend?
I'm more mad at my fiance for like not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I don't know, like he says like, well, how do you want me to stand up for you? And I feel like, oh, I don't even know how to explain that, but I would just I don't know, like find a way, like just
Yes.
do it.
No, I can sense your frustration. Is this something that's happened in the past, or is this now that the wedding's coming so close that you're getting more frustrations from your fiance?
I think this has definitely happened. Like, I think his friend made it really aware to us. And I think he just does it jokingly, but he doesn't realize how hurtful it can be. He's done it like from the very start of our relationship until now. And I'm frustrated now because, like, we're about to get married, but you still can't, like, say anything. Um, and so I think that's where it's like making me even more angry. Like, we're at this stage and you still
Mm-hmm.
can't do anything for me.
So maybe in the beginning you could have excused it, but it's been a recurring theme. You're almost getting married and it's still happening, so it's feeling more frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
No, that makes sense. Um, I remember when my husband and I were engaged, we had a couple things that I got really frustrated with him about, and I can relate to what you're going through. And I actually broke up with him over one of them, and I was just so frustrated with him. And obviously, we got back together, we got married. But looking back, I just realized I didn't know how to communicate with him. And I feel like I learned that it's just a learning curve. And maybe you feel like you're not able to get the right reaction out of your fiance right now. But I wonder if the longer you're together, you're going to learn what you need from each other. He's going to learn that you need more support from him. And maybe you're going to learn to communicate better with him so this doesn't so this doesn't happen again. So I wonder if maybe it's kind of a learning curve you're going through right now that I had.
Yeah, and I think that's just something that makes me nervous, because sometimes I hear from other people like, oh, you shouldn't like be with someone that's like a project that like is needs to be fixed up later. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and so it makes me worried, like, am I thinking too much, or is that like not the right way to like perceive the issues that you have?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so it just feels a little like confusing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to do.
What do you feel when they say he's a project?
Um, I mean, they don't say it directly about him, but like just in general to not date a project. I
Mhm.
feel like yeah, people change and they grow. And so that should be normal, right?
Right.
But I think I just get confused about where the boundary should be about, is this gonna be something that I should be okay with or something that I can tolerate and like what you were saying, learn to communicate with him better.
Right. So what I'm hearing is you're trying to distinguish, is this just a little thing we have to get over, or is this a big red flag that I'm missing?
Yeah.
Okay. I sense your frustration, and I appreciate also that you're really thinking deeply about this. Marriage is a really big commitment, and I know you've been really happy with your fiance from past conversations, and I'm so excited for your wedding. But I definitely empathize with you, and I'm sorry that you're having these doubts because it's a really hard time to. You have the wedding plans, plus you have all of this on top of that. So I'm I'm sorry you're going through that.
No, that's okay. I think I'm just maybe looking for advice. I know that you're married, Anna, and so um, thanks for sharing that little story before. I think that was really helpful. I don't know if it's just the nerves getting to me,
Yeah,
especially since it's crunch time.
right. I understand that.
I'm
I'm
Mayuri. I'm Mayuri, and I'm the helper.
I'm Hannah and I'm the healthy. Okay. Well, my year, like that in the past, I'm the youngest of four children in my family, and we just went on a family vacation. Like I said before, I've been home for about a week. Yeah, about a week now. But from that family vacation, at the very beginning, like I always had a feeling of that I shouldn't really go in a sense, but yeah, I wanted to because I haven't seen my family in a while, but yet I was dreading it to even go. But I knew I had to go, and while I was there, I just felt like every time I either said something or with my family, like just kind of like step back and kind of have some alone time to myself. Like I felt like this was offending some, or like if I didn't want to play a game and I expressed my opinions about it, of that I didn't particularly like the game or that I found it kind of boring, that I would much rather just watch. Like I felt like I just always offended someone, and I felt like I broke relationships while being in Utah than before.
Oh, Hannah, I'm so sorry about that. It seems like you were so excited for this trip, and then it's being bogged down, or what this memory could be of a happy family trip. It seems to be turning into something else.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder. You talked about being excited for this. What were some of the things that you were excited for?
I was just excited to go back and kind of see my siblings and my parents again, since it's been a while. We all live in different states now. And so it's been about 6 months, maybe a little bit more, since we've all been together and seen each other. So just seeing them, and then also seeing my niece and nephew as well, since my nephew's now 1, and then my niece just turned 7 months. So being able to see them, I was really excited for.
Yeah, it seems like just being able to reconnect with your family, especially since you've all been away for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess what would have been your ideal um, situation for having things to go right between your family, or being able to discuss your feelings?
Um, I'm not quite sure. I guess just like um being able to communicate a little bit better, because I feel like I was communicating my problems to them of what was going on in my feelings for it, but I felt like whenever I did that, it was kind of shut down of um well, I don't know, like, why are you saying this? Or why don't you want to be a part of it? And I kind of felt like a little bit shut down for it for why it didn't feel like it went so well. So I feel like it should have gone a lot better if we communicated a little bit more, I feel like.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're wishing that they would have communicated back with you, maybe how they felt
Yeah.
about. Okay. Um, yeah, I wonder if you've ever asked them like maybe why they were upset and how that has gone before.
My I don't we haven't really talked about it before, but afterwards my brother did text me and was talking about what was going on. But I felt as well, even though it was kind of an apology thing of him not communicating very well, I also feel like it was a jab at me that I wasn't communicating um, all that well either towards them. And we're probably the closest
Hmm.
um, of my siblings, and he felt like I wasn't communicating very well to him either.
Yeah, I think that's really frustrating because you mentioned you and him are really close.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's hard. I relate in that some of my siblings I feel especially close to, and I felt like maybe they just weren't honest with me, or they didn't really understand me in the way that I expected them to. Um, I think in these situations, sometimes it is best to just swallow your pride, even though it stinks, and even though you feel like it's not your fault at all. Um, to just say, not necessarily I'm sorry, but say, um, this is what I understood from this. I'm sorry if you feel like that. Can we try this again?
Mhm.
Um, and I think in those situations, sometimes even if it doesn't go right with the other person, sometimes it's better for us just to realize that we did our best, and then we can let go of the situation. Um, because it sounds like you really wanted a good time with your family,
Yeah.
and be able to still think of all of them. And I'm hoping that this advice can help you at least feel a little closure with your family.
Yeah. Thank you so much, my ear. I definitely do feel like that would help a lot because I just feel like I still have that burden on my shoulders of that it was my fault that something did happen, even though I did try. So being able to say I'm sorry to them and try to explain what was going on in my head, I feel like would really help.
Yeah, one last thing, Hannah. I know you've told me in the past that because you're the younger sibling, sometimes they treat you like you are the younger one or you're the baby. Um, I think with that, if you feel like you were right, then go ahead and just stick with that as well. Stand your ground on that. And just realize that like you said, you're not young. You're able to, think for yourself and be able to do things. So if you think that you're right in those situations, um, I think it would be good for you to communicate that with them as well.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really helpful. Thank you so much, my ear. That was really great advice.
No problem. Thank you, Hannah.
I'm Anna Hafen and I'm the helpy.
I'm Hannah and I'm the helper.
So Hannah, I am gonna be done with school in a week, which I'm just so excited about. And I've been really looking forward to a break and spending time with my family. Um, and I just got told a couple days ago, I'm the new Young Women's President in our ward, and I'm getting called in on the day I graduate. And so I feel like I was anticipating a little break and now it's gone. So
Oh no, that's still so exciting though that you're able to graduate and that you're able to also step into this new role as sorry, not the primary president, as the young women's president. That is just
it's
so
very
exciting.
exciting.
That's
Yeah.
very exciting. But I can also see how you feel a little maybe a little stressed out that you're or a little sad that you weren't able to get that um, break that you truly wanted
Yeah,
for that
that's
time.
exactly it. Because I am very excited. I've been in the Young Women's already, and I just love the girls, and I want to keep working with them. Um, but yeah, I just in my head had it planned a little differently. I thought maybe I'd have a little more downtime, but it's just immediately from one thing to the next. So it's just different plan than I had. So
Yeah, for sure. For the young women's president, like what kind of roles do you need to take on, I guess, that would replace the school? Like, if that question makes sense, like what kind of roles do you have to take on that makes you feel like you won't have that downtime that you wanted after school?
yeah, so with school, I had regular Zoom meetings during the week. So now I'll have young women's activities every Tuesday. So I'll still have that evening commitment. Um, and then Sundays will pretty much be booked, I feel like, with early morning meetings and teaching and things like that. But I guess other than that, it really is less than school when you put it that way, because I won't be having the studying during the day and things like that. So it should be less. So maybe it is kind of a break. I need to look at it that way.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like that's a little bit better for you to be able to um, see that you're still getting that break a little bit, even though
Hmm.
you do have more of a responsibility to those girls now for the young women's president.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And it's also a different type of busy because I feel like it will be more fun than school was. So the times I do have things going on, I think I'll be more excited to do those things and it'll be something I'm looking forward to more than school was. So that'll be good.
Yeah, for sure. I was just going to get to that part, Anna, of how it's going to be more fun for you. And I feel like it's going to be a different kind of stress for you, as well as you're planning these activities and bonding with the girls for sure.
Mhm.
Those were one of my favorite times. I've never been the young women's president, but I've been the president in those classes. So I can kind of relate of that stress and that fun activities that you can do and to help bond with those girls as well. So
Yeah.
that's very exciting for
Hmm.
you
Yeah, it'll be fun.
as you get to be that. Um, I'm drawing a blank now.
Oh. Another thing I'll just add is my counselor is my best friend in the world. So I think that I say I'm going from one busy thing to the next, but really it's enjoyable and I'll get to spend time with my friend and it's good. I feel like it's always good to help other people and like get outside of yourself. So it will be a good thing, I think.
Yeah, it sounds like I can also see, and it sounds like you're very optimistic for this, even though you were um, coming in seeming like it was going to be a stressful and more of a um, heavy workload as well.
Um,
So,
I know
um,
I don't know exactly what to expect. So I am trying to be optimistic and just hope that it will be a good experience and won't be as time consuming as school has been. So yeah, I'm hopeful, definitely.
yeah, for sure. So you said it time consuming. That you're worried that's just going to be so time consuming. What part of being the Relief Society president makes you feel like it's going to be just as a time consuming as
Yeah.
school?
I think my biggest concern is the last president was very uninvolved and never did anything. So for over a year, we haven't really had any activities or anything. So I feel like I have a lot of work to make because nothing was happening at all. So I'm feeling like I'm already behind.
Hmm.
But hopefully, once we get things going, it won't be as bad as I'm picturing. So,
Yeah. So you kind of feel like you have to pick up the slack that the old Young Women's president had to
yes.
left for you,
Yeah.
for sure. That can be, I can feel like that can be a very stressful situation for you, feeling like you've already been defeated as you're going into something that should be a wonderful experience,
Exactly. Yep.
for sure. Um, are there, um, let's see, I'm trying to figure out how I want to word this for you, Anna. Um, are you excited to and plan all these activities for the girls?
Yes, I am. I'm mostly excited to delegate and try to teach the girls how to plan things themselves and learn that skill. So yeah, I'm really excited to just hopefully teach them new things and give them more responsibility. So yeah, it'll be fun.
That's awesome. Well, Anna, you sound like you're quite prepared with this new calling that you're going into. And from when we started, it did sound like you were a little stressed, but from
Mhm.
talking, it sounds like you um, kind of relieved yourself from that a little bit more and have kind of realized that even though you do have a new responsibility and some more duties, that you're able to still have that downtime that you wanted from graduating.
I do feel better. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.